Hi guys, it's Amandine and welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it's already been a month, but I'm here for the first update for my Pando's eyeshadows project already. But it's quite an exciting update. I've made quite great progress, so yeah, let's just do this. I can't wait. So here is the colors I've been working on for the past months, but before we get into the actual update, I've decided to switch up a little bit my rules. I'm still going to work on 5 shades, 4 that are completely randomized and 1 that I choose. And basically I have to hit pan or hit a usage goal, and in my introduction I've decided to set this goal to 15 uses, but I've decided to change it up to 20 uses just to make it a bit more challenging. So yeah, it's either hit pan or hit the 20 uses goal. But let's just chat about these colors. The first one comes from my Natasha Denona Mini Zendo palette, and it's the shade Uncovered, just a matte, matte pinky neutral shade. And I've used this shade 8 times, which is quite good, I'd say, because I've been working on other shades and I have other palettes that I wanted to test out this month, so it's just a great number. And here is what it's looking like today. I don't know if you'll see, but I can see a small dip happening. I know for sure I will not hit pan in this matte, in this project. It would take me probably like 50 or 60 uses to hit pan. Maybe one day, I'll keep working on this one for 12 more uses and I think I'll just roll it out. The next shade I've been working on is also a neutral matte, and it comes from my ABH Norvina volume 5, I think. And it's the shade E4. This one I used only 4 times, which is not that great, but I know that if I focus, like really focus on this one, I can easily use it 15 more times, so I guess it's going to be okay. And here is what it's looking like. It just looks barely used. There's just no movement in the pan. But it's alright. Next shade is this beautiful silver shade that comes from a Beauty Bay palette with Ayo Coralie, a French YouTuber, and the shade is called Pétillant. And I've used this shade 8 times and I'm quite happy because I can see there's a small dip happening. Like, you can see it's been used, quite used. I might be able to hit pan, I don't know. I've been focusing on the other metallic I had in my selection, and I just used these metallics quite in a similar way. I've just used it on my lid, like the whole lid, and just like put some matte neutral in the crease, and that's basically it. It was like really nice to work on this one, and I think I will focus on this one for the next month, but I've been focused a bit more on the other metallic I've been working on, the one shade I chose for myself. So the shade I chose for the beginning of the month is this shade. It's so great to use like all over the eye shade, so to go to work I loved using this shade, and it comes from my BH Cosmetics Made in Switzerland palette, and it's the shade in Geneva, and I'm quite happy to say that it is my first pan of the year. It was quite easy to hit pan because these pans are not that deep, and even though this shade is quite pigmented, it's also a shade that you can put all over the lid, so you use quite a lot of product. But I'm just so happy to have a pan in this palette, and I just love this palette. But yeah, I will choose another shade to replace this one. Since it's the shade I chose last month, I get to choose another one. And the last shade is this quite colorful purple, and it comes from my Sunset Horizons palette from Beauty Bay, and it's the shade Hibiscus. Oh wait, I forgot to say, I think. For the last shade that I've managed to hit pan, I hit pan in 13 uses. And this one from Beauty Bay, I used it 10 times. I was a bit afraid of this shade because I just don't wear colorful looks to go to work, but I have managed to use it mostly as an eyeliner. And I don't know if you'll see, but I hit pan. It's a tiny pan, but it's still pan. I'm kind of proud. So I'm going to roll in a new shade for this one and choose a shade to replace this one. But I can't manage to choose a shade like in all my collection. I don't know why. I've been thinking about it for a week and I just can't choose. So when I randomize my shades, I first randomize the palettes. So I'm going to randomize two palettes. The first one, I'm going to randomize the shade in it, and the second one, I'm going to choose the shade in it. I've just decided to do it this way because I don't know how to choose, so I'm just going to let the randomization at least choose a palette for me, and then I will choose the shade in it. So I'm going to use the Tiny Decisions app, and we are going to randomize the first palette. Ooh, the Tartelette Flirt from Tarte. That's a small palette and I've already got one pan in it, but at least it's quite neutral shades, so I know it will be easy to use whichever shade is going to be randomized. And the second palette is going to be that's a palette I've probably used only once, but at least I get to choose the shade from this palette. Okay, so I've got the two palettes I just drew here, but first, here are the eyeshadows staying in from last month, so from the Mini Zendo palette, the Norvina Volume 5 and the Beauty Bay and Ayo Coralie palette. And so first I drew the Tartelette Flirt palette from Tarte. Mine is gross, but it's a palette that has visited the world with me, so. And here is how it's looking like. So I've already got a pan in Playful, and these are quite deep pans. We'll just see which number I get. So I'll draw between 1 and 5. Number 1. Ooh. Well, I guess I will be able to use it pretty much every day. And this is the shade that has been rolled in. Just a creamy shade. The name is Gaze. At least it will go well with all the other shades. Quite a neutral color story. That's for sure. And then the eyeshadow palette that has been rolled in is the W7 Let's Brunch palette, and I can't figure out if I've already used it or not. I think I've used like 2 or 3 shades max. I don't know which shade I want to work on. It's barely used. I feel like the red is quite pretty, but am I ready to wear red? I can't figure it out. Okay, I feel like I need colors in my selection, so I'm going to go with Cosmo, the bright red shade in this palette. I need color. I think I might be able to wear this to work. I feel like it's not that pigmented, so it's pigmented, but if I just use it in like tiny touches, it should be fine. So here is what it's looking like, and here is the whole color story for the month of February. Yeah, I think it's a nice red. I mean, the color stories are like quite similar, even though I managed to hit pan in 2 shades. Just really neutral with just a little pop of color. It's gonna be fun. So I hope you liked this video. I'm just so excited that I've managed to hit pan in 2 shades already. Like, it's gonna be a good year for panning, I think. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you'll have a nice day, and I guess we'll just see each other next week. Bye.